Hi, this is Jason from Horrific Nightmares, and it's time for a controversial view. This week, the controversy is a little bit different, and we're going to be talking about Goodnight Mommy. This is something that Joe and I have talked about doing ever since we created Controversial View, because controversy can come from all over the place. Whether people think it's controversial or not, is kind of their opinion, but it's basically what we consider controversial. And this one is a controversy from within. Now, Joe and I have very similar taste in horror. And a lot of the same things in movies bother us, which is kind of weird. I mean, we don't always have the same opinion. I know people like to think that, but, we generally like the same types of movies for the most part. Like, if he sees a movie and I see a movie, I may like it a little bit better than him. He may like it a little bit better than me. That's just natural. But the controversy of Goodnight Mommy is that Joe does not like this film, and I love it. So, we're going to dive into this controversy a little bit because this is a controversy from within. And in my mind, it's still a controversy. Now, my history with Goodnight Mommy is I actually picked this up at a thrift store that I actually haven't been back to. And I remember telling Joe that, and he asked me why. And I said, well, because it's too far, and my wife and I don't really go out to that area very much. But I remember going into this thrift store, first time I'd ever been there, and I walked back to the movies, and this was actually the only thing I found was Goodnight Mommy. But I was so excited because I had heard good things about this film. Now, the only thing that I had heard, and this is where the controversy comes in. The only thing that I had heard is that people really liked this film. I didn't hear anything about the twist. Generally speaking, if I haven't seen a film, I'll only go so far when I watch someone else's video because I don't want it spoiled and I don't want it to influence me. I don't want their opinion to influence me. I like to watch it for myself and make up my own mind, as all of us should. So I took it home, I watched it, and it freaking blew me away. Absolutely blew me away. I loved it. And I remember us on the Super Slash Brothers streams, Joe and I, talking about Goodnight Mommy, and he was saying how much he didn't like it. I was like, wait a minute. You don't like Goodnight Mommy? He's like, nope. He said, I saw the twist coming right in the beginning. So now I know basically where Joe is coming from, and I'm going to let him tell you a little bit more about how he's familiar with this film and why he may have the opinion he has. I also don't want to spoil this film in case people haven't seen it. Um, and this one's hard because finding a way around that is not really easy since it involves the twist in the film. But we're going to give it a shot. So when I watched this film, um, I was very surprised, and I, I can't even believe I'm saying this out loud. I was very delighted how mean spirited the movie was. And this is about children against their mother because they don't really think it's their mother. I'm going to leave it at that as far as the premise. That's all you're going to get. And I was surprised how the kids treated their mother. And it hooked me. It really did. Even though this is a foreign language film and it's in a different language, it just hooked me from the very beginning. And I've liked it every time I've watched it. Sometimes with movies like Goodnight Mommy, and I'll say a movie like Scream, the twists are so profound that sometimes you think when you go back and watch them that you're not going to like them as much as you did the first time for the simple reason that it's already been spoiled for you because you watched it before. But I find that that's not necessarily true for me. It could be true for a lot of people, but not for me. I love this movie. I didn't see the twist coming because I was unfamiliar with the twist being what people love so much about this film. simply because I didn't watch a lot of reviews on it. I was just happy that I was able to find it and take it home and watch it, and I have loved it ever since. Don't forget to check out what Joe says about Goodnight Mommy, because I'm sure he's going to tell you a lot about why he didn't like it. And it's interesting to hear two different perspectives. And when Joe and I were talking about this film, I was giving him my perspective, and he was giving me his. And I was able to see exactly where he was coming from, even though I still love the film. I'm not sure if he could see my view. I hope so. But, that's why we're doing these videos, so I can watch it and see what he thought. So definitely check out Joe's controversial view for Goodnight Mommy and Physical Media Matters. And until next time.